Hey everybody, it's that time where I talk about the rest of the books that are coming out in January 2020. So many amazing titles coming out this month, this year. It's going to be a great reading year for all of us. So let's get started so I can tell you all about them. Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. It's Russell with Ink and Paper Blog. How are you doing today? How is your January going? I hope you guys are having a fantastic start to your reading year. I apologize, I have been a little bit off on my video schedule. Honestly, being gone for the first part of the month and everything that happened there and getting back into it, it's just been sort of hard to get the bookish part of my life back on track because there's been so much going on in regular life. So I promise, I think February will be an easier month to get back on track and get myself back in my normal scope of things. So I apologize if I have comments I haven't reported or responded to, or videos. I have a ton of my friends' videos to watch that I have not been watching. So I will get back to it. And to be honest, reading has not been great for me this month. The focus. I need stuff to sort of calm down so that my focus can go there. But February, I'm turning the corner. But that doesn't mean that I don't have a ton of amazing books to tell you all about. So I've already done part 1 of the books coming out in January, and this is part 2, and there are amazing titles here. Most of them have come out. I have one book that's coming out next week, and it's a humdinger, so stay around for that one. I am so excited for that one. And yeah, so a lot of really great books. So get out your pen, get out your paper, get out your Goodreads, get out however you take care of your TBR. Take care of. Our TBRs take care of ourselves, do they not? And if you are so able, order these books from your local independent bookstore and or have your library get them. I have been going to the library more often. My friend Ryan from This Charming Rant is running a book club actually at a South San Jose library that's nearer to where he lives, and I've been going every month, and the library is just gorgeous, and it just makes me realize how important the library was to me when I was a kid. And I see the kids running around getting their books, I see people, and it just sort of warms my heart. But that's another story for another day. Are you ready for a bunch of titles? Let's get started. This book actually came out January 14th. And it was in a pile for me to do a wrap-up on because I've already read it, but I should have had it in a January release video. And that is Oligarchy by Scarlett Thomas, out from Counterpoint Press. This is billed as a modern-day Prime of Mystery Brody. If you haven't read the Prime of Mystery Brody, do it. It's worth your time. It's fantastic. And Oligarchy is sort of a take on the boarding school story. We have a young woman. Her name is Natasha. She's from Russia. She is sent to England by a rich father she has just come into contact with. She's led a life of pretty sort of meager existence. Until then, he swoops in, sweeps her away to this school. She goes and yeah, things happen. There's lots of really interesting stuff that's discussed in this book. So there's a lot of stuff about body image. All of the women are, all of these young girls are absolutely obsessed with dieting, losing weight. There's a lot of discussion on how they treat each other or discuss weight. One of the young girls goes missing and winds up being found dead, and then there's sort of this mystery into how that occurs. There is another sort of historical mystery about a woman who lived on the property who wound up drowning in the lake. All of that sort of comes together, but it's really about Natasha coming to terms with who she is and now sort of how her life and the dynamics have changed. My favorite interaction is between her and her aunt. Her aunt is a wealthy woman living in London who comes sort of to be the family figure for her at different times during the year. And sort of their discussions and their interactions are so strange and weird, but also really a lot to talk about. I think that this book is actually a really interesting book club book because I think there's a lot to talk about in it. Towards the end, I was trying to figure out how it was all going to come together. I liked this book a lot. I would think I'd like it more if I had people to talk about it with. So that is sort of my advice. Do this or read this with someone so you can sort of discuss what the book has to say. But I highly recommend it. I think it is very good. And that is Oligarchy by Scarlett Thomas. And this is out from Counterpoint Press. You can get your hands on it right now. Okay. The next book we've actually chosen in my book club to be our next book club read, and that is Night Theater by Vikram Paralkar, and I'm sorry, Vikram, if I am saying your last name wrong. Congratulations, though, because Vikram just married his husband, so that's very, very exciting. I saw that on Twitter, and they are an adorable couple. This is the story of an Indian doctor in a major city who goes through some sort of scandal, so winds up having to move on out, and he becomes the doctor in this small town. An event occurs, a robbery, and this family is murdered and killed, and sort of their spirits come to this doctor and say, if you can fix us, if you can fix our bodies, by daybreak we will be able to return to life. And he and assistant, the doctor and the assistant, undertake this journey, but as they continue to build these bodies back together, they start to see a connection between the story of this family and the doctor. And is that connection dark, as you can imagine? I think it sounds fantastic. I think it just got a starred review in Kirkus too, so lots of reasons to recommend this book. And that is Night Theater by Vikram Paralkar, out now from Catapult. You guys can get your hands on it, read it. I'm going to be reading it for book club. I'll have lots to say. So yeah, we can talk about it. The next book is actually one of the Buzz books from 2019 Book Expo, and that is the debut novel, My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell. And this is actually out already too. You can get your hands on it as well. Now, I'll be honest, when I started this book, I did not think this was going to be the book for me. This is the story of a young woman, she's in her 20s when the book starts, who, when she was 15, started a relationship with her English teacher. And he is much older than her, as you can assume. And this book, at the very start, he has been accused by other girls of sexual misconduct. And it's a story and a discussion regarding her relationship with this man and her, whether or not she believes these young girls. Now, what is fascinating about this book is that Vanessa does not believe that she has been abused by this man. She fully believes that she had a relationship with him and she is different than the girls that are accusing him of his sexual misconduct. She's almost upset with him because if it's real, she feels almost cheated on. And that is what makes this book as brilliant as it is. We are inside Vanessa's head as she sort of navigates two time periods. The current time period, she's still in her 20s, has a very different but still weird relationship with this man. And then also we get to figure out how the relationship came into fruition and how it sort of filled a niche of need for her while she was in high school. She's an unreliable narrator. At times she is frustrating. At times she is utterly sympathetic. At times you are wanting to come through the pages and hurt this man, and at times you want her to just sort of come to realization that what has happened to her should not have happened to her. But what Kate does brilliantly in this book is she has made Vanessa so multifaceted that you never know what really to think. So that was almost a wrap-up review. A book that I didn't have any idea that I would like, wound up loving this title. And yeah, I'll get more into it in a wrap-up. I think it's brilliant. I think it's a tough read. I think it will not be for everyone, but I think it's a book that shows that Kate Elizabeth Russell has an amazing amount of talent. So this is out now from William Morrow, and I highly recommend it. Difficult story, difficult topic, beautiful book. Next is a fantasy book that I have talked about a couple times on my channel, and that is A Queen in Hiding, 9 Realms, Volume 1 by Sarah Kozloff out from Tor Books. What I've told you guys about this in the past is they are actually releasing volume 1, 2, 3, and 4 1 month after each other. So January, February, March, and April. You can get all 4 of them in a 4-month, which is so weird for a fantasy series and how it should be done, because who wants to wait? No one wants to wait. This is the story of a young girl who is meant to be queen when it says here, it's been a while since I remember the details. She is orphaned and exiled and hunted. She is the princess of Winterndale, but first she must master the magic that is her birthright, become a ruthless guerrilla fighter, and transform herself into the queen she is destined to be. So I actually have started this book. I am not very far into it, but it's got a really good sense of world building. It starts with a bit of a bang, so there you go. And I really was enjoying it. It is in there in my TBR list, and I think if you like epic fantasies with strong female leads, this is going to be one of the books for you. So that is A Queen in Hiding by Sarah Karloff, and it is out now from Tor Books. And it goes Queen of Raiders, A Broken Queen, and A Cerulean Queen are the 4 titles. So you'll be able to get them all super quickly. Okay, the next book I actually do not know a ton about. It was sent to me by the publisher, but I know that Charlie Holmberg is an author that I have read a book for before. I read The Paper Magicians by this author. And I really liked it. I actually wound up buying the second in the series, and I just haven't read it. So this is The Will and the Wilds by Charlie N. Holmberg. And this is out from 47 North, I believe. Yep, 47 North. Don't know much about it, but I'm going to read it to you. It says, "Never trust a misting. Enna knows to fear the mistings that roam the wildwood near her home. When one tries to kill her to obtain an enchanted stone, Enna takes a huge risk, fighting back with a misting of her own." Oh, I'm gonna have a hard time with this name. I'm sorry. Machalis help isn't free. His price, a kiss. One with the power to steal her soul. But this deal leaves Machalis bound to the mortal realm, which begins eating him alive. Only Enna's kiss, given willingly, can save him from immediate destruction. It's a temporary salvation for Machalis and a lingering doom for Enna. Part of her soul now burns bright inside him, making him feel for the first time. Enna shares his suffering, but her small sacrifice won't last long. If she and Machalis can't break the spell binding him to the mortal realm, he will be consumed completely, and Enna's soul with him. So that sounds actually really good. And that's The Will of the Wilds by Charlie N. Holmberg. Yeah, sometimes I love when I'm sent something that is not on my radar, and it just sounds really good. Okay, so this is the last of the books that are already out, but it is really not the least of them, because this is one of those novellas that I am super excited about, and that's Riot Baby by Tochi Onyebochi, and I'm really butchering that name. And this is out from Tor Books, and this is the story of a set of a brother and sister. They have immense power, immense gifts. And their childhoods are really, it says, defined and destroyed by structural racism and brutality. Their futures might alter the world. When Kev is incarcerated for a crime of being a young black man in America, Ella, through visits both mundane and supernatural, tries to show him the way to a revolution that could burn it all down. I actually got pretty far in this one over the holidays before I sort of stopped reading. He is an amazing writer. And this is one of those books. It's short, but packs a punch. I think if you really like the Binti series or P.J. DeClark, is that how you say his name? The Tram, number 55. I'm totally blanking on the number. I love those books, though. Those kind of things. I think that this book will be right up your alley. So that is Riot Baby by Tochi Onyebochi, and this is out from Tor Books right now. So I'm having a hard time with that font, to be honest with you. Okay, so last but not least is a book that is coming out this week, January 28th. It's actually a graphic novel that I am so excited about. I was sent the pre-release copy of it, and I started reading it, and then the final version came, and it is gorgeous. And that is Parable of the Sower. This is by Octavia Butler, but it is adapted by Damian Duffy and Don Jennings into a graphic novel. Can we just take a moment and look at how stunning this cover is? Stunning. I love Parable of a Sower. I always say sour. Sower, I think it's great. I love the artwork. Look at the artwork. It is just beautiful. And I love the color palette. So this is the story of a young girl. This is like sort of a futuristic dystopian tale. Her and her family live in this community. It's walled off, but there is a lot of awful stuff going on around her. People are constantly trying to break in, and it is very dangerous to leave the compound. Her father leaves the compound quite often to go to work and come back. One night, what happens is that a group of people do wind up getting into the compound, and many people are murdered, and she winds up leading, our main character winds up leading a group of people on a pilgrimage. That is a word that I am struggling with. Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna even try. I'm not gonna even try anymore. Do you guys ever have those moments where the word is right here in your mouth, but you can't say it? Well, there's also this aspect of the fact that she has sort of created her own sort of religion, and she's sort of spreading the word of it to the people that are joining her and her group as they travel across the United States to get to somewhere safe. This book is the first in a series. I have not read the rest of them, but I loved Parable of the Sower, and I actually love Octavia Butler so very, very much. And this is just the most beautiful, beautiful cover. So if you are looking, if you loved the book and you want a different version of it, I have also done the Kindred graphic novel interpretation, and that was also fantastic. Highly recommend this. This is a fantastic graphic novel. It's so beautifully put together. Yeah, I'm in love with it, and I just may read it really, really soon. So this is, I have to thank Abrams Comic Arts Books for sending me both the copies that they did. And this is Parable of the Sower by Octavia Butler, adapted by Damian Duffy and Don Jennings. In love, in love, in love. So that is a small stack. It wasn't small. It's quite a few books for you to get on your TBR. Which ones sounded amazing? Which ones have you already read? Which ones are you going to read? As I always say, I want to say thank you so much if you are a return subscriber. I really could not do this without you. If you are new to my channel, I hope that this video keeps you coming back for more. As always, I encourage you to read locally, shop locally, read globally. Can't even get my own tagline right today. I hope you guys are doing really, really well. Happy Sunday. Have a great rest of the week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.